Hey guys, it's me. Last time I set up a trap and I haven't actually posted a video to say what I found in it. So if you remember rightly, I had one of these bad boys. This is a vein trap. I hung up in a tree. I put a pot on the bottom with a load of sand in it. Threw some gross livery stuff in a bag and went to see what I could get. So let's have a look and let's look at the footage. Back up. Oh, look at this. So, I don't know if you can see this, guys. These are amazing. These are carrion beetles. So these are specialise in carrions, exactly what we're looking for. So it's fantastic. Here he is. See all those mites running over him? They'll eat things like fly larvae, fly eggs. So there's less competition for them for the food. It's really nice, and they kind of look a bit like Halloween lanterns if you look at them. Look at those mites. Beetles here are really cool. They're actually part of a family called carrion beetles, which a really posh name for them is Silphid. We all call them Silphids for short. And actually the name's quite interesting because Silphid actually refers to a type of spirit that lives in the air but lacks a soul. Which is probably related to the fact that these are found on dead things. So spirit, dead things, ghosts, you know. Silphid is split into two main subfamilies. We've got Silphinae, which are species that tend to live on big dead things, so things like cows and horses and deer. They'll live on it or in it, but they don't tend to go underneath it. There are some groups in this small group which will specialise on just eating snails. We've got a few species in the UK that have got a long face for getting into snail shells. We've also got a really pretty species that's spotted and looks quite nice, I think, that will actually just climb up trees and hunt caterpillars all night, which is pretty rad. The other group is Nicophoreinae, which is probably my favourite group. They're called the sexton beetles. They tend to be a bit more colourful on smaller dead things. So they like things like birds and rabbits and mice and shrews and the sort of thing your cat would bring in, to be honest. And they actually bury underneath, pull down the dead thing, and then they lay their eggs inside it. And this group is really interesting because they're actually a group that actually are parents. They look after their young. They don't just leave them to fend off in the world. They work as a mum and a dad, as a team, and they basically bring these larvae up. And what the larvae do is they beg for food. They're like, give us the food, give us the food. And they basically, like birds, feed them. But the great thing about these beetles is that if the kids ask too much for food, they just decide to eat them because, you know, got more important things to do than worry about your kids moaning all the time. So this big black guy here is Nicophoreus humata, one of the commonest species in the UK. It's actually found in loads of different countries. Most of the carrion beetles are found in the temperate region, so anywhere that isn't the tropics, basically. This is partly because in the tropics, people believe that they're outcompeted for carrion food by ants and flies and other carrion eaters. They're attracted to light, and so they appear in people's moth traps and they appear in people's windowsills when they leave the lights on at night time. Really big. And he does give off a bit of a pong because obviously he eats dead things all the time. But the great thing about this species is actually they found a fossil of this species that was dated to 10,500 years ago. So this species has been knocking around a while. And it does show that beetles are really good at doing what they do. They pick a job, they go for it, and as a result they remain relatively unchanged after all these long expanses of time. This other guy here that's bright orange with these black spots. This is Nicophoreus vespuloides, another common species, and it was one that I was looking for in this trap. It's a really cool one to show people. The big black one's cool, but beetles tend to be big and black or blue. So anything with orange or red is really exciting to look at. Really similar lifestyle to Nicophoreus humata. He'll bury a hole underneath, and they work as partners, so male and female, raise their kids together. If you like Silphids and you want to learn more about them, I recommend looking up two people, Matesh and Ashley Whiffin. They co-run the Silphid recording scheme. They've made a really cool identification document that will help you tell you what you can find and how to find it, and obviously how to identify it. You might need a microscope, but actually you can do quite a lot of these things with a magnifying glass just because they're quite big. Really cool. Look them up. That's it, really.